File item 69, AB-659. Mr. Nazarian, clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 659 by Assemblymember Nazarian and others, an act relating to people instruction.
Mr. Nazarian.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and fellow members. AB 659 encourages the incorporation of an oral history component into teaching of human rights and genocides, including the Armenian, Cambodian, Darfur, Holocaust, and Rwandan genocides. Oral history components provide our students with the benefit of understanding the trials and tribulations of genocide survivors through firsthand testimony. Students will learn of man's inhumanity to man and be better aware to make sure that future genocides do not occur. And on that note, it's a wonderful privilege to be having my family members here present, especially my wife's grandmother, whose family survived the genocide. AB 659 has received no votes and has enjoyed bipartisan support throughout the process. I respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Assemblymember Achadjian.
A vote with aye and it's okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in very strong support as a principal co-author of AB 659, which would encourage the Department of Education to incorporate materials related to the Armenian Genocide in their publication and require the consideration that a discussion of the genocide be included in the history and social science framework. Part of ensuring a better world for our children includes educating them about the past. This bill is an important step in recognizing those past acts of violence and keeping us from repeating them in the future. This not only applies to the Armenian Genocide, but the Cambodian, Darfur, Rwanda genocides as well. I would like to thank the author of this bill, Brother Nazarian, for bringing this vital issue forward. I respectfully ask for a unanimous aye vote.
Assemblymember Harkey.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. I rise in support of this very important bill. Oral histories can help our students put a face to history. We all hope and pray that the atrocity of genocide will become an event of the past. However, for us as a people to accomplish this noble goal, we must make sure that the memory does not quickly fade away. Throughout history, genocide stands as a stark reminder of man's ability to abuse power and the fragile nature of human existence. These dark chapters in our history have had lasting impact on the survivors and their descendants. It's critical that children of all races and humanities understand these unfathomable events. I thank the author for bringing this measure forward, and I request an aye vote.
Mr. Wilk.
I too stand in support of this measure. As many of you know, my wife is Armenian. And I heard many stories from her relatives who survived the genocide, the oral histories, and they have all now passed. This last September, I had the honor to go to Armenia and tour the Genocide Museum. And what really struck me for the first time was that it was clear to me that the model that Hitler used in Germany, he took from the Ottoman Empire in the way that they exterminated the Armenians. So we don't make these mistakes in the future. We have to learn from the past. And so I salute both members Nazarian and Achadjian for putting this forward. And it's to the benefit of all people everywhere that they learn about this genocide. Thank you.
Mr. Donnelly.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I too rise in strong support of this resolution. You know, it is said that if those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it. And this resolution acknowledges and analyzes some of the darkest periods in the history of man's relation to man. And I think it is so important that the next generation understand what man is capable of, what evil man is capable of, so that we can unify and take a stand against it. But if we don't ever look into those dark places, then we won't appreciate the light. Because on the flip side, what we're really doing is defending the whole concept that a people have a right to live free from the threat of literal extinction. And it's critical and crucial that we stand up and defend every single human being's right to defend themselves. And I support and stand with the Armenians on this important day and this important year. Thank you.
Assemblymember Brown, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I visited the history and saw the people of Armenia and heard the stories, saw the proof of the genocide in the museum, I was struck by the similarities that we here have experienced in the time of enslavement of African people. I was so struck that it became one of those things that it was a part of my life as well. History should never be repeated, and that's why you have to teach it. Most people don't understand that concept because we keep doing it over and over and over again. We're doing it right now in other parts of the world. So I rise to say to my Armenian friends, brothers and sisters, I support this measure, and I am hoping that everyone else will too. Thank you.
Seeing no further questions or debate, Mr. Nazarian, you may close.
Thank you for all the comments and words. I humbly ask for a vote. Thank you.
Clerk will open the roll. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. All members vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll, tally the votes. Ayes 75, no 0. Measure passes.